I am Andra Annette, and welcome to Narrative Nights. And tonight I'm going to be reading from one of my books, Anger in the Closet. I am an international best-selling author. I am a nurse, a holistic practitioner, leaky gut, thyroid, and weight loss expert. And I put people back in a body they love. So, what I've always loved to do since I was a little girl is write. And it got me through a lot of traumatic times in my life. And I think that when you share your stories, it gives other people permission to feel okay. It inspires them that there are answers to what they're going through, and it gives people hope. So I just want to share something with you that I wrote, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm looking for one I just saw. Okay. So this is called No Label for Me. They handed me a label, bold and black, stamped with pain, a weight on my back. Victim it read as if to define a life meant to bow, a soul meant to pine. But I will not wear what is not mine. I am more than they can define, more than the scars, the tears, the strife. I am the author of my own life. Victimhood whispers, stay where you're safe, but safety is a cage, a hollow space. I will not be bound by a story that they tell. I rise, I roar, I break their spell. I am not the sum of what was done, not the battles fought or the wars unwon. I am the light that defied the dark, the flame that refused to lose its spark. Call me survivor, call me strong, call me a warrior who corrects what is wrong. But do not call me a victim still, for I have claimed my power, I have bent my will. This life is mine, no label in sight, unshackled, unbroken, standing in light. I choose the words that describe my name, not their stories, not their shame. Okay, so let's find another one. Finding my way to me. I walked a path carved by others' hands, each step a nod to their demands, a road of whispers, a map of lies, their troops painted over my own skies. But somewhere beneath the noise and schemes, I heard the echo of forgotten dreams, a voice so faint yet bold and free, calling me back, back to me. No longer will I wear the masks or twist myself to meet their tasks. I am not their mirror, nor their plan. I am my own, whole, unbroken, and grand. Their opinions fall like autumn leaves, rustling, fleeting, easy to leave. For forward is where I cast my gaze toward brighter nights and unclouded days. Moving forward, I redefine a self-made path uniquely mine. Each step a promise, each breath a choice to live with my truth, to raise my voice. No need for approval, no room for shame. I am not theirs to judge or name. The road ahead is wild and free, and every twist leads back to me. Faith in the mirror. So every chapter has its own like little subsection that tells you like what we're getting into in this book because the book starts with a story and then leads into poems that I wrote to help get me through certain times. So this is again written through the eyes of a child because these poems were written when I was very young. So trust is fragile, easily shattered by betrayal and pain. For years, I did not trust myself, let alone anyone else. But healing taught me that trust is not given, it is rebuilt. One choice at a time, I had to learn to trust my own voice, my intuition, and the God who created me. This chapter is about that journey, about finding faith in myself and the world again, step by step. Triumph is not loud or flashy. It is quiet, deliberate, and deeply personal. It is found in the moments when you rise, despite the doubts of others, when you refuse to bend to their expectations and choose your own path instead. For me, my triumph was staying true to my dreams, defying every voice that said I could not or should not. This chapter celebrates those victories, big and small, that come from trusting your strength and fighting for the life that you deserve. So there's a bunch of them in here. So this one was one I did, and I had to leave out some of the slang when I rewrote it. But this is called Crowded Subway. I wandered through a crowded subway, thinking it was just another dull day. when the sky opens up in a peculiar way. A pigeon above had something to say. With perfect precision, it struck my head, but before I could curse, the poor bird was dead. An old woman shrieked, "You're cruel," with despair. I froze mid-step under her icy glare. Me, I sputtered. I didn't even blink, but she stormed off before I could think. The subway loomed with its chaos and noise, racing with people, both women and boys. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a girl who was quite thin, skin and bones, with a mischievous grin. She stood by the rail, laughingly tossing her stones, each one clattering like hollowed out tones. The train roared in, its engine a scream, and the girl just laughed like it was a dream. A toddler toddled, a menace at play. He smiled sweetly and kicked my shin anyway. The train door slammed on a boy's big frame, who shrank to nothing like air from a flame. And I admit for a moment I grinned. Finally, someone else hurt like I had been. I mind my own business, I go my own way, yet misfortune finds me every day. A bird, a child, a girl with her stones, the subway's circus of chaos and moans. But life is a subway, chaotic and wild, full of odd moments, both bitter and mild. And through the noise, I learned to find peace, laughing at life as I journey to release. So they're not all sad. They're not all sad, they're happy. So that's kind of what the book is about. So this is the stories we carry. We are all shaped by the stories we carry, the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and trials. But stories are meant to be shared, not to weigh us down. By releasing the pain and embracing the lessons, we free ourselves to grow. This chapter is a reflection on letting go of the burdens we are not meant to carry and honoring the beauty in the journey itself. So this one is called Departure. I stood at the edge of what I knew, a life fractured by trust I could no longer hold, a house full of familiar faces, now stranger, their shadows merging with the dark. I packed hurriedly, folding fragments of myself into a bag too small for the weight of leaving. A picture frame, a favorite sweater, a memory that felt borrowed, a puzzle piece that never fit. Glimpses, that is all I had. Flashes of moments veiled in cruelty, hands carrying harm, whispers that lingered like smoke in a locked room. I chose distance, a new place with walls untainted by secrets, a new unspoken in suspicion, a name unspoken in suspicion, a home where I did not have to wonder what hid behind every door. Trust became a language I forgot how to speak. I learned instead to craft my world quietly, carefully, a space where joy was mine, not borrowed, not stolen. I wanted a life unshackled, where love was not a gamble and mornings held promise, a chance to breathe, to walk forward without looking back, to belong, not to someone, but to myself. So I left, and though the past still whispers, its voice is now a shower fading in the light. The life I build is mine, untouched, unshaken, free. So I had a lot of trauma in my earlier life, and this just talks about some of that. And it was my way of getting it out so it didn't build inside of me and harm me in other ways, right? So this one's called The Void. There is a space inside, vast and deep, a hollow echo that steals my sleep. It whispers doubts, it hums with fears, a reservoir of uncried tears. The ones I trusted, who should have cared, left me alone, broken and scared. Their love was a riddle I could not decode, a heavy burden I silently strode. I filled the space with fleeting highs, with borrowed comforts and pretty lies. For a moment the emptiness seemed to fade, but the shadow returned, deeper and stayed. Addiction was not the cure I sought, it was the cage my pain had bought. Each sip, each hit, each desperate plea, it was not freedom, it imprisoned me. To heal, I had to face the truth, to mourn the losses of my youth, to trust myself, to let love in, to rebuild the strength I blurred within. The void still lingers, but now I see it is not a flaw, it is part of me, a space for growth, for light to shine, for trust to grow, for love divine. So, oh, this is a cute one, A Day in the Grocery Aisle. I strolled through the aisle just grabbing my bread when a man in plaid shouted the chickens are dead. I froze in my tracks, unsure what to say, as he carted off pickles and creme brulee. The lady in produce was juggling pears. Her toddler threw lettuce and shrieked down the stairs. Control your kid, barked a butcher named Pete, who was carving a turkey while texting on beat. A man with a clipboard emerged from the fray. Have you considered switching your toothpaste today? I dodged his pitch and escaped down an aisle, only to trip on a box marked extra smile. The freezer exploded with fog and with ice. Out stepped a penguin, now with a surprise. Sir, I whispered, you're not on the list. But he just waddled off, eating a twist. A checkout of woman declared with a shout, my bananas are bruised. I demand a new route. The cashier just sighed and the manager came, but before they could speak, a mime cried in shame. My bags were too heavy. I stumbled and swayed. The eggs turned to pancakes as gravity played. I crawled to my car, but broken and proud, because shopping is an art when the world is this loud. So, this is one of my favorites. Rich, you can have the Porsche, the Mercedes Benz. I will be writing poems and laughing with friends. The best champagnes and the fancy wines. I will be atop a mountain watching the sunrise. Luxurious clothes for whatever that means. I am perfectly comfortable in my old faded jeans. Furs imported from Paris, France, the absolute best in all the lands. But I choose to let love take a chance, my lover and I walking hand in hand. You can have the treasures, the glimmer, the gold, the parties, the palaces, the power you hold. I will take the moments that money can't buy, the peace in my heart, the stars in the sky. You can have the best in life, and I will never switch. You might be wealthy, but I will be rich. I agree. I agree. I agree. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, and then we'll do more on another day, I guess. The compass of love. We walk through life with burdens untold, through shadows deep and nights so cold. But somewhere along the winding way, true norths appear to light the day. They are the hands that steady the fall, the voices that answer when no one calls. Their love is quiet, steadfast, and true, a mirror reflecting the best in you. They do not demand, they do not expect. They hold your story with gentle respect. Through laughter shared and tears endured, their presence reminds you you are assured. They show that love is not earned but given, a gift that makes this life worth living. In their eyes, you find your worth, a shelter in storms, a place of rebirth. And through the path, and though the path, and though the path may twist and turn, with every lesson, with every burn, they guide you home, no map required, kindling the hope your heart desired. For true norths are not just people we find, they are beacons of love that free the mind. Anchored in truth, their compass is clear. Through every hardship, they keep us near. So that one was written about my best friend since childhood, Angela. And I never forgot that because she's always been my true north. I love her, love her, love her, love her. So that was enough. I just wanted to, so she was the sister I chose. That was another one that was in here. We'll read some more on another day, but I just wanted to come in and share some of my heart with you today and why I love writing so much. I think that there's a lot of people walking around with feelings and they're afraid to express them or put them down. And I think that when we reflect on our past or what's really going on inside of us, it brings us closer to health, right? I wasn't a healthy person when I was going through this. I was someone that was very depressed all the time. I had gone through a series of traumas, one right after the other. And this was like my guiding light. It kind of helped me make it through there. And sometimes writing can do that for you. So writing is a tool, right? It's something you can share, your story, your gifts, whatever it is. But when people can relate to what you're saying or your words or get lost in your story, if it's a great love scene or, an adventure, then it helps them escape to a place to and get lost in your story. And that's what I love about stories and sharing others. So I hope you enjoyed this session of Narrative Nights with Andra Annette. Have a great day.